We have already seen a bit about types. So why do we really need? Okay. So what are types? Okay. So we have values come with type, and they govern two aspects: how we create and how we make use of values. Okay. In the simplest possible terms, let's look at a situation that we are in. Let's say we have a function f. Let's say from type a, some a to some type b. We have an x which is of type a, and we have a y which is of type, let's say, c, and okay, let's say d, and z of type c, let's say. Okay. So this is our context. Yeah. In such a case, we know one thing: f applied on x is okay. Why? Because x is of type A and f expects its argument to be type A. Okay, so it is okay to do this. But f applied on y is not okay. We are assuming B is different. It's a different type because f was given an argument which is not its domain. Okay. So that is the reason why f of y is not okay. Okay, and that's fine. And what can we say about f of x? Okay, so this is okay, and the expression f of x itself is of type B, okay, and can be used wherever you can use y. Okay, so in other words, types govern how we can create values. So for example, here a value of type B is created by applying f on x, and how we make use of these values. Okay, for example, we make use of x as an argument for f because we can do that because A is of the right type. Okay, these are some of the things what types make sure of. Okay, okay, it sets the rules of creation and use of values. Okay, so type checking is checking whether your program violates any of the typing rules. Okay, you currently put it pretty abstract, but essentially these are the things. Okay, whenever you have a function and you are applying it to some expression e, the expression e has to be of the proper type. Okay, it has to be of the type of the domain of f. Okay, so these are the points that types are used for, and type checking is to ensure these. And type checking can catch a lot of programming bugs. Okay, okay, and we have two kinds of if you look at the scale of languages, there are two scales in which we can look at it. Okay. So we can ask whether the language supports strong types, like example is standard ML, etc. Or is it weak, like C or something. Okay. So it is in this axis. So all languages which has strong types will come here. Okay. The second issue is whether you can do the type checking before you actually run. Okay. So and dynamic type checking. So let's look at this table. What is a language which has static type checking and has strong types? Example is standard ML, for example. Okay. So there is two phases, a compile phase and the static phase, which is the compilation phase, where the program is not really running. Okay. So if the type checking is done at that phase, it is called static type checking. Okay. And the example is standard ML. What's an example of a language which has weak types, but the type checking is done at compile time? Example is C. Okay. As we saw, C is pretty loose with how it deals with types. For example, integers is automatically converted to reals, and we saw one of the problem with it. Okay. But nonetheless, there is a compilation phase where the type checks are done. Okay. At the run phase, no type checking is done. Okay. On the other hand, if you look at a language like Ruby, for example, okay, it is pretty serious about its type, but the checks are done at runtime, not at compile time. Okay, whereas a language like JavaScript does not have type checking, does not have static type checking, and whatever type checking it does is pretty weak. Okay, you can take string and add it to list and all kinds of things you can do in JavaScript. Okay, so so these 2 points. Okay, how strictly types are enforced, and static type checking, the code is checked for type errors in the compilation phase. Okay. Nothing is done at runtime. Okay. And dynamic type checking happens at runtime. Okay, these are the, if you look at different languages, they fall in one of these entry, somewhere in this matrix. Okay, so that's regarding types and type checking. Okay, so in this context, let's look at some of the advantages of static type checking. So the first advantage is so first of all, you notice the type checking helps in finding bugs. Okay, and the earlier the better. Okay, so a program that is not yet deployed, if you can find bugs, that is better. Okay, so static type checking is better in that aspect. The second aspect is since type checking is already done, the code generated can be much more efficient. Why is that? Because think of a dynamically type checked language implementing the operator plus. Okay, so when it sees plus of x and y, it has to make sure that x is of integer type and y is of integer type, and then add, and all this has to happen at the runtime. So typically static type checking generate more efficient code. Okay. So so we would and the one of the problems with static type checking that people often associate is that you have to write a lot of types, and certain programs which are otherwise illegal might be ruled out. Okay, so the two problems that people say is that certain programs which are otherwise legal will be ruled out, and that you have to babysit the compiler. Okay, but the fact is SML has type inference that avoids that gives the language a feel of a dynamically type checked language like Ruby, but gives the safety of a statically type checked. Okay, so we get kind of the best of both worlds in a language like Scala. So let's shrink these things. Okay, so let's start with the basic types. Okay. So the basic types, let's look at some of the basic types. Int, integer is a basic type. A string, a character, okay. And a real number. Okay. These are examples of basic types. Yeah. So we see that we have created a value of type int and bound it to this variable an int. Okay. Similarly, we have created a value of type string. We have created a value of type character. We created a real value. We also have booleans, which is true or okay. Yeah, so these are some of the basic types of standard ML. There are other basic types, but let's for time being as of now not bother about.